You're the first guest on the Muscle Mommy Mindset. Hey, Muscle Mommies and Muscle Daddies. Good evening. It is the nighttime we're filming this. We have a special guest today.
Is it me?
It's you.
It's me. I feel so special. I'm Abby. I would give a whole intricate way of how we met.
Yeah, we could do that.
Which I don't really even know it was through our fitness accounts on Instagram.
So this is really funny because you coming over today, like it felt like I was having a guy over for the first time, and like they had like meet my family because I haven't had a new person over since like
that's so real.
Like a year. Real. Like, so real. I'm like, ooh, I gotta get ready.
I know. I'm going to Ali. My mom's who?
Yeah.
I was like, Swoleshady.
Yeah. My mom, I was like, Mom, the girl that I like worked out with a while ago. She's like, oh.
I was like, the one with the hoodie that I have. She's like, oh, okay, got it.
No, literally. So normally we take a deep breath. I've never done it with a person though. So this is new. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
We're inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouths. Okay, guys, we have a lot to talk about today. Abby, tell them who you are. Like, what did you go to school for? What are you doing right now?
Right now, I graduated from Oneonta in 2023, and I was originally a dietetic student. Realized that's not for me. And I graduated with Human Development and Family Studies, and graduated a semester late. Figure out what I want to do. And now I'm in grad school for my Master's of Social Work.
Oh, okay.
So I'm vibing with that.
She's vibing. And then what are you doing for work?
For work right now, I work at a cafe.
It's all gluten-free, by the way.
Oh, I did bring you cookies. No! I forgot. They're in my bag.
Are you kidding?
I brought you chocolate chip cookies.
Yes! Oh my god, you need to remember to give them to me after.
I will.
Oh my god.
And I'm also in my clinicals. So I just finished my first placement doing substance use counseling. And hopefully if my contract goes through with my second, I will be doing eating disorder counseling.
She's doing like what I want to be doing. So I want to become a counselor. So I feel like I've been using your career path to like help guide me.
Whatever helps. Listen,
yeah. Oh my god.
Somebody else.
We're going to talk about so many things today. We're going to be talking all things relationships, and we're going to use the experience of her ex cheating on her and that entire relationship. We're going to bring the lessons out and talk about what happened, what to look out for, and how to navigate it.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay, start us from kind of the beginning, and then you can, if you want to talk about some red flags along the way and how you navigated them at the time versus how, like, looking back on it, you would navigate it now, give it to us.
Honestly, I can say that I don't think I would change how I navigated anything. Mm-hmm. And I will say this was my first, like, real relationship. Like, I had situationship over COVID that was, oh my god, like, I was like, I'm in love. No, you're not. Like, yeah. I honestly don't even, but that, like, broke me, but literally only for, like, a few months.
You're like, but that, like, broke me.
But, like, it was fine.
No, but that's what situationships will
honestly,
do to you,
that was, the thing about that is that when everything ended and I went back to school, like, junior year, because I was home sophomore year, we stopped talking because he sent me a Snapchat of him with a girl. Like, wait, is this cuddling in his bed. This is, like, the guy before my ex. Yeah.
Okay.
So then I was kind of like, oh my god, he cheated on me.
Oh,
we were never dating.
I see what you're saying.
But, like, I kind of used that narrative. I was like, and I had told Cowboy, like, this happened to me. Like, so, whatever. Not whatever. So
that was, like, your
But that was, like, my like, exposure.
Yeah.
To, like,
that's a good way of putting
the dating world.
That is a really good way of putting it.
Because I didn't, like, date until, like, college.
Okay, that's perfect.
Like, I didn't talk to guys in high school.
I never talked to guys. Like, I was never a person who, like, dated in high school.
And nobody in my grade did. It was, like,
really?
like, nobody did. I mean, there were, like, a few, but they were, like, maybe they did, and I just wasn't in the know. But, like,
that's honestly better.
I did get invited places. Like, I did see things going on, but, like, I guess
she was, like,
I guess I wasn't really, like, attracting male attention at that.
Sounds like
I wasn't attracting boy attention at that point. I was too busy. I was, like, the class clown. So
I can see that.
My priorities were shifted,
but that's good.
No, in a good way.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your pre-exposure before the first boyfriend came.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was kind of unexpected. Because funny enough, when I first started talking to him and he was texting me, he pissed me off so much. This was a few months before we talked again. And he was spamming my phone.
Wait, are we talking about Mr. Cowboy?
Mr. Cowboy.
Okay, Mr.
We're
Cowboy.
on Mr. Cowboy. So this is back in like January of 2023. He texted me and he was spamming my phone. Like, I had probably said hi and then spamming my...
Where'd you meet? A dating app?
Of course.
I was like, wait, what part do we leave out? Okay.
Whatever happened, like, he had texted me, I texted him back, and then he went on this, like, I used to actually have the messages, and I ended up deleting them. I think I, like, ran out of storage, and I used to always clown him with it, like, throughout our relationship, being like, oh my god, throw back to
remember when you were obsessed with me?
Yeah,
Kind of thing, yeah.
Right? Which one you liked
what
me?
happened there?
No, but it was funny because it was just...
I feel...
It was, and I remember vividly me walking out of, like, the science building up at school, like, looking down at my phone, seeing, like, what the hell?
Like, what is this?
But I look back at it now, and that's when the lies started. This is before we even started officially talking. This is the first time we ever spoke. Because he was like, oh my god, you work out. Like, I've never worked out with a girl before. His ex was a gym girl. Of 7 years. So let's put that in perspective. So now I'm thinking that I'm like, But that only comes out like 2 years later. Then I'm like really put it together. I'm like, wait a second. Ooh. So whatever. He spammed my phone. I was like, what the heck? Unmatch. 2 months later, we match again. He had shaved his head and I didn't recognize him.
Oh.
And he was like, Abby, we meet again. And I'm like, excuse me?
Like, who is
What are you talking about? This Abby?
Like, you have the wrong person.
And then the rest was history.
How far away did he live from you?
From like home or from school?
Both, I guess.
So he's about an hour 15 from school and about 3.5 hours from my house.
Mine was the exact opposite. That's so funny. Okay. That's nice though, because now you're home and you're very far away from him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rather than having him within an hour radius.
I'm very thankful like I don't have to run into him going to the
I had to drive past my ex's, like every exit that reminded me of him. I'm like, stop. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
And I can't even imagine what it's like breaking up in a small town, but.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If he lived in my town, game over.
No, I don't know what I would do. Yeah, me too. I'd be like, we're moving out of here, family.
Like,
Let's
I'm strong,
go.
but not that strong.
Well, that's the hard part about college, too. Everyone's, like, 2 minutes away from you.
I know.
It's like, if you have a situationship, like, you're going to see their ass every day.
Exactly.
It's awful.
So, relationship was great. He was doing training for his work, so he was away for a few months. So, that was really just FaceTime and texting. He had his phone only for specific parts of the day. Looked forward to that. Consistent. Great. About a month into talking, he came and visited me. And it was like instant. I was like, yup. It was like when you know, you know.
Oh.
I was like, mm-hmm.
That's how I was, yeah. I was like, oh, this man is going to be my boyfriend. Yeah, that's how I felt.
But like at first, I was like very hesitant about it. I was like, internally, I was like, yep. And I remember because I had a few drinks before he came over because I was terrified.
Oh.
And we ended up like, he needed dinner. So we drove to Taco Bell and I'm in the passenger seat, a little bus. And I'm just like talking my ass off, I'm sure. But it was so fun. It was so easy.
Yeah.
And I remember when he left, my roommate was like, do you want to date him? And I was like, I don't know, probably not. Like, I remember trying to be sleek. I was trying to be like, no, I don't care.
I was just like forgetting that like you literally talked for a month. And so it's like there's all this anticipation. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He left and I was like, she was like, do you want to date him? I was like, I don't know. We'll see. Trying to be so nonchalant. And I've never been nonchalant a day in my life. So I was like,
say that's not your personality.
Kind of like, what? Okay, that's weird. Went back to work, been back to training for his job. He came back. I'm trying to even think the timeline. I think it was like a couple weeks later. Mm-hmm. We went on a hike. Going on a hike with somebody you want to know for a day. Great move, Abby. But it was really nice. It's a really famous place up at school, up at Oneonta. It's called Table Rock. Okay. And it's like the big view of the town. So it's like, it's always people there. Like there was a whole like, the like environmental club was like up there when we were up there. And it was like, we had lunch up there. He had one of the guys in the environmental club asked to take a picture of us. And I was like, this is our second time hanging out. Like, okay, like I guess so. Oh, I remember when he showed up to my house, he had a bouquet of flowers.
The first time?
The second time.
Oh, wow.
And I had never gotten flowers a day in my life. I looked at him, I was like, what? And I feel, this is something I do feel bad for to this day, because then my roommate came out of her room. She goes, those are so pretty. He goes, thanks.
Oh, because you didn't. Oh, because you didn't say anything.
I was like, oh. So that was interesting. But yeah, then I ended up going up to his place like a few days later. And it was actually the last week of the semester.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'll come up to you. You know what? It was the next day. The next day I went up to him. And
wait, after the second hangout?
After the second hangout, the day after that, I went up to his house and I met his family.
Oh.
And then I ended up driving home that same night back to Oneana. And a week later was the end of the semester. And then right before I drove home, I made a detour upstate to see him and spent the weekend there and then drove back home. And that's when we made it official. But we actually, it was funny because we didn't make it official until I was on my way home.
Oh.
And I stopped at Chipotle for a burrito. And I said to him, I was like, so what are we doing? Are we dating or not? Because I was like, I'm not driving like 4 hours home from me driving. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, because that's like, okay, now if I'm driving you, it's not an hour driving.
Yeah,
anymore.
I was like, are we dating or not?
Yeah.
I was like, say yes or say no. Like, I gotta know right now as I devour this burrito. So I have something to think about. Like, I was like, I can't just drive the whole way home. Like, I have to be upset or happy. Like, I need one of them. I can't I can't have the unknown.
Wait, that's valid though.
Yeah, and it was like, people have like all these, oh, it was so cute how he asked me. I was literally like, gave him an ultimatum. I was like, are we dating or not? Almost, like, to put it shortly. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
He was like, I want you to be my girlfriend. I was like, okay, bet.
Wait, was it on text?
Yeah.
Okay. This is funny.
Mm-hmm. And then I drove home, and then the commutes back and forth started.
Okay. And then when did things start getting like, oh, this isn't the relationship that I initially signed up for, and also just like, this isn't the relationship that it was in the beginning. Like, when did you start noticing some changes?
When he started his job.
Which was how far into your relationship?
He was in the academy when we started talking. So he got out of the academy, I'd say a month and a half into like.
So into a month and a half into dating, you're talking about?
Into like overall talking.
Yeah.
He had graduated because it was only a few days after was his graduation that I had surprised him
so you're saying that? Wait, so after academy, how long is it till you get you're in your job profession?
The next day.
So you're saying the relationship changed?
You're put onto your OJT initially.
Wait, you're saying the relationship changed right when it started?
Honestly, I would say just because the schedule. And he was so stressed.
Why is that? Abby, I feel like you're flooding me back. No, you're flooding me back to way too many memories, because like that's when my relationship changed, when it started. People was like, oh, the honeymoon phase, and my best friend always likes to joke with me, and she was like, your honeymoon phase was before you guys started dating. And
yeah,
I was like,
honestly.
Yeah, because why can't I relate to anybody's honeymoon phase? Yep, okay. This is brutal.
But honestly, I will say that he did put in effort in the beginning of us dating. Yeah. Like, he did, like, you have to commit something if you're going to drive that far, you know? So it's like, I don't paint him as like some scumbag. Like,
yeah, no, well, I'm the same way, where like, it wasn't that like all of a sudden he wasn't committed and he wasn't like any of this. It was just immediately I had this energy change that I noticed that I like immediately like brought to his attention. Yeah. I was like, wait, there's something different. Like, there's something different right now, even though we're going to see each other soon, something's different.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was like, it was the small things, because it was never like huge things. It was the small things, because like I would call him, he would answer the phone, hello, and I'm like, why am I pissing you off? Yeah.
You're like, why is like the person who I thought was gonna like call to make me laugh and make me feel better,
sending him the nicest things, saying the nicest things, like all the time. Like, I'm the best you could ever freaking get. So I don't know why you're like treating me like shit right now.
like I relate to this too much.
Yeah. So it got bad. It became bad when he was working overnights.
Okay.
And his sleep schedule was all off, and it was like his attitude was just diabolical.
Okay.
And he always made the time to do his stuff that he liked. Thank God. That's what I want everyone to do. Prioritize what you like. But at the same time, and I think that talking to your girlfriend is a little bit more important than going to a magic tournament. which is
A
like
what?
Magic the Gathering. Like, it's kind of like Pokemon cards. Whoever's listening to this is gonna be like, no, it's not. It's like Dungeons and Dragons kind of, but
Okay.
it's like cards and it's like collector item
Okay.
stuff. And it was always like, this what I'm, no, I can't talk now. I'm playing a game with my brother. And I'm like, you live with your brother. Hello. Like, I love like you.
Abby, like, I feel like you're telling my story for me. Like, I'm not even kidding you.
It's like,
That's what it. Like,
it's a
there was
pandemic.
a
It's an
point
epidemic.
where I was like, there's, like, this game can be rewinded or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where am I right now? Like, I'm not in your world right
No,
now.
I was never in his world. And it's
Yeah.
like, I would have ideas of like stuff to do, and it would always be like, like, I want to do what I want to do. And I just said yes because I knew that's when he would be in a good mood. And I did whatever I could whenever I could to make sure, okay, because the highs are so high, but it's just the lows were so low. It's like, if it was not what he wanted to do, but seriously, if it was not his agenda, he was not into it. I mean, at the end, he said, he was like, I'm selfish like that. Like, that is true. He didn't deny it. He knows it's true.
Yeah, he's aware of it.
He's
He just
completely
doesn't do
aware of
anything
it.
about it.
And like, he has a really tough childhood, which I don't want to push past. Like,
Yeah.
it's completely valid.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to go through half the stuff he went through. But there's a difference between just saying that and refusing to do anything about it. When you have
And using it as an excuse
when
for
you
your
have
behavior.
the services and the resources, especially with his job, he has every resource and service at his fingertips.
And then, like, they're not going to do anything about it. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
then what am I going to let you treat me like this because you
Because
have a
he
past?
says that he's like, I need help, I need help, I need help.
Get help. Yep.
And then he goes to me, he was like, I'll even be like, let's talk about something. He's like, you don't understand it. And he was like, because I live such a cookie cutter life to him.
Yeah.
I was like, just because, I was like, yes, my parents are together. But I do have traumas. Yes, are they mostly self-inflicted, like mental and stuff like that? Yeah, but it doesn't, if two people are drowning, it doesn't matter if it's in a 10-foot pool or a 60-foot pool. You both can't breathe, so why are you, like, comparing this right now?
I think this is great to also talk about, not even just for me to hear this, but for everybody else, because it makes you realize that, like, you're not alone in these feelings. Like, people, this happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it was always the comparing of trauma. And because we both, like, were open about our pasts and stuff we've gone through. Like, he's known all my struggles and my recovery story, and I know about his past and his family history. His family was so different than mine, but that was probably one of the things that attracted me most to it. Like, there was so much chaos and so much going on, but each person was so unique in their own way, and it was just such a blended family.
That's cool.
And there was always something going on. But the thing is that his antisocial behavior in the family context made him want to just push back from that. And he was like, I want nothing to do with socialization or family or anything like that. Meanwhile, that's all I want. Like, if his mom was walking in the kitchen, I want to have a full conversation. What's going on? How is work? Tell me everything. And he's like, I don't want to be, like, go to my room and play video games.
Yeah. Like, get me out of here.
Yeah. And so that kind of, like, trickled in and out depending on his work schedule and stuff like that. We'd have our highs and lows. And meanwhile, he's telling me he's never been happier. I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. I'm going to be his wife, or he's going to have my kids. We had looked at land. So he wanted to build a house and start everything. Like, he had, and let me tell you, he is one ambitious guy. He has so many things. He's constantly has to do something. And he has so many goals, which I am, honestly, I'm inspired by it. I am. But at the same time, I think he puts too much on his plate so that he can't think of the things that he has to work on.
Yeah. But, like, yes.
So it's like he overloads.
Yep. I've seen that.
Until it all just weighs too much and falls to shit and breaks down. And I think that initially happened. We had a trip to Boston in December of 2023, or January. It was right after my graduation, which he had gone to, which we got in a fight because I wanted to go out to the bar with my friends. And
he wouldn't want you to go.
No, he didn't care if I went. He didn't want to go. It was like a big graduation night. And he was like, ugh. Finally he went. But he
Okay.
stood
But
in
he
the
was,
corner
like,
miserable.
moping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there. He was just like my coat hanger all night. Even that probably pissed him off. God forbid you got a hold of a jean jacket. Okay. But
That's funny.
graduation happened, and my family was like, what do you want to do, a graduation gift or anything, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I don't really know, but Cowboy and I are going to head up to Boston, we think, for a weekend, like, getaway. My mom was like, oh, let me pay for a few days of the Airbnb.
Oh,
blah,
that's
blah.
so sweet.
Yeah, it was so nice. So we went to Boston, had a great weekend. It was so fun. At least I had fun. I look back at the pictures now, and he's like, I'm, like, forcing smiles out of him, and I'm like, okay. But at the same time, it's like, we're doing things there that he wants to do. Like, we're in Boston because he wants to be in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was...
But he's not showing.
Yeah, he's not showing... The enthusiasm comes out when we're at, like, there's this one, like, Navy ship.
Yeah.
That he was so excited to see. And, like, all the history on, like, the military and everything there. And he was so excited for the aquarium. And I remember we're at an Airbnb, and this is honestly when it started going downhill because we didn't have dinner plans. So we were like, okay, let's just get pizza. So it was about 9 months into the relationship, and I'm like, you stay here, like, you're tired, you've driven around all day. So I was like, I'll go pick up the pizza. And we got a margarita pizza. I pick it up. This shit's expensive, first of all.
No.
And we're in, like, suburbs of, like, we're in, like, Melrose or something.
Okay.
I bring the pizza back. I open up this pizza. It's a cheese pizza with just sliced tomatoes on it, and it's called a margarita pizza.
Oh, God.
When I tell you, it was, like, 10 times worse than, like, a Pizza Hut pizza. It was
What?
disgusting. It was like, a mix of, like, Friday like lunch cafeteria pizza mixed with like Pizza Hut.
Oh, God.
Like, it was actually gnarly, but it was my fault because I had ordered it, even though you had told me you wanted the margarita. So he just got annoyed, and that set him off. That set him off. When I tell you, it shifted his mood the whole weekend.
Are you kidding me?
Between that and I brought him to a CrossFit gym. So Ben Bergeron at CrossFit New England is one of the most famous CrossFit coaches in the world. And he has so many CrossFit Games athletes that come through his doors and that he's trained and put on the podium. He's incredible. And I've always wanted to go to that gym. So I was like, oh, Cowboy, you got to do this workout with me. Like, Mr. Muscles, come on. Like, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like, you
guys are both, like,
and
jacked.
you've done so much PT and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is nothing for you.
Well, he works out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Which is a little different than CrossFit.
Yeah.
But he's got
But
the
it's still,
stamina.
like, you could
He's
work
got the
out.
stamina from the running, from PT and all of
Yeah.
that training. But we do this workout. Oh, my gosh. It destroyed him. And he had, like whooping cough or something afterwards. Like, oh, you know, like a workout, like so much cardio, like you are coughing the rest of the day. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that like burning, like lung burning feeling. He had that. He was miserable. He was so pissed. He acted like he was dying.
See, like, what I think of when I think of that is, like, when you, like, rip a bong and for the rest of the day, you, like, your throat is hurting. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, if I had to imagine that.
Well, I guess that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking. I don't smoke anymore. Like,
No, 100%. Like, yeah. And
Yeah.
he was like,
you have to keep coughing.
we sat in the car for like 20 minutes of him just like refusing to drive because he couldn't cough. And he was saying, I'm like, I can't believe you made me do that. I can't believe like
Are
everything.
you serious?
Yeah. And I remember
It's your fault.
I remember
that he
when
had whooping
he
cough
didn't
after
feel
working
good
out.
and he wanted to leave and I wanted to wait to get a picture with Ben. I remember saying, I was like, we all took a picture together and I was like, shit, I really should have taken one of just me and Ben. I was like, God forbid
That's
something
like-
happens. I was like, I should take
Yeah.
one of just me and Ben. I
Did you?
didn't. No, now it's cropped.
Oh, damn. Damn. It's cropped at least.
So, whatever. The trip was fine until it wasn't.
It doesn't even already sound fine.
So, we get home. The trip is over. We get back to my house, and he was going to stay that night because we got home late. He was going to leave the next morning. Throughout the weekend, his phone kept getting a notification from this one girl with like an alias name.
No.
And I was like, I had asked him like earlier. I was like, who was that? And he was like, oh, it's a coworker. We're talking about like shift changes. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, sure. I don't care.
Yeah. Did you ever have a problem with trusting him before that?
No, not at all. I was like, there's no way he would ever do anything. Like, he would never cheat on me or do anything, like, to be unfaithful. Ever. I wouldn't even, like, picture it. It was, like, unimaginable.
Wow.
And, like, even, like, him having female friends, like, he had female friends. And, like, some of my best guy friends, I mean, best friends are guys, too. He didn't like that. He just didn't like them. But he also didn't like many people. He didn't even like me.
He didn't even like me.
He doesn't like himself. Like, how can you like others? We were back at my house and he was in the shower. And I never go through his phone. Ever. Because there's no reason to.
Yeah, you trust him.
And, like, I don't really care. I don't really want to see your brother's texts of, like, your cards and, like, your magic cards. I just couldn't give two shits. And I don't understand half the stuff about work and all the code names.
Yeah. All the talk, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
all, like, the acronyms.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, okay. Like, be by boat from like in blah 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 unit 2 is blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay. It was Snapchats from this one girl, and it was like in his recent. So like they had been texting over the weekend, but like nothing was saved but everything saved was from October, and it's January right now, when we're on this trip.
What was that moment like?
Awful.
Like you swipe it and you see October.
I swipe it and I see October and a lot of stuff that I shouldn't see and she shouldn't see. I mean, I probably should have been the only one to see.
And what happened in that moment?
My heart dropped. I put his phone down and I walked into the bathroom and
and you were on a trip. Oh wait, no, he was at your house.
This is at my house
after the trip.
And thank God my parents weren't home. My brother was though. I literally ripped open the shower curtain. He's just standing there. I was like, who is this? Blah, blah. And he's like, a deer in the headlights. Immediately, he was like, he starts like bawling, like tearing up. And he like has a towel. And I ran to my living room. And he's like running through my house, like with a towel on.
It's always like the cheater crying.
Yeah. And it was like
because they
talked
got
about
their
it, and
ass
I was like
caught.
freaking out. I was like, this isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. I remember hearing my brother yell, "Are you okay?" I was like, everything's fine. Because
I don't know what I would do.
So
I would feel like in denial too.
Yeah, I was like, first get dressed, get him out of the towel before I can talk to you, have a real conversation with you. And we were sitting in my room, and I kind of just asked him about it, and I was like, did anything actually ever happen? He was like, no. To this day, he said nothing physical ever happened. I'll choose to believe you. And it was a coworker from his first on-the-job training. And in that moment, I remember we're sitting on my bed, and he's crying. He's like, I can leave right now, like, blah, blah. And I was like, and I said to him, I said, look. And I'm comforting him. Like, we're both crying, but, like, I was like, it's both of our first times being human. I don't expect you to be perfect. Like, this isn't acceptable to me. But it's not to the point where I'm willing to break everything off and lose you. I said, because I see the good in you. You've given me 9 months of incredible, like, memories and everything like that. And I was like, well, we make mistakes. I'm not going to forget that this happened, but I can forgive that it happened if you promise to never hurt me again, if you care that much and want to show up for me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't want you to leave. He ended up staying like 2 or 3 extra days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. What were those 2 to 3 days like?
Honestly, I don't really remember. Emotional. And
like internally or like externally?
Both.
Were you showing? Okay.
Both. I remember because we went to get protein shakes after, like, just after this happened, just to go out on a drive. And we were at the shop, and it was like, law enforcement gets a discount at this place. So he's all excited and, like, gets to tell people, like, what he does. Like, and I was like, I didn't want anything. So we got that for him. We're in the car. And I start bawling. No. And I'm driving. And he was like, what's wrong? He goes, what's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
And I said, I was like, it's still, like,
eating me alive.
Yeah. So he was like, here, go back to your house. We drove back to my house. And we got in his car and we, like, drove around.
Him, like, with his shake. Like, right. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah.
What's right? What's right now?
Yeah. So
you sipping that shake?
Yeah, honestly. So we got back to And he, like, we were driving around, we parked somewhere, and we were talking for a long, long time, and he was, like, telling me how, like, the root of everything, of, like, trauma stuff from his past, and I was like, okay, like, I still stand by what I said. And when he left, like, a few days after, I was like, promise he'll never hurt me again. He was like, I promise, like, I will never, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I did that, in what state. And I told him that, because I think this is also a real important part if you're going to forgive somebody who's cheated on you, that if you want to be together, you have just as much of a role in making it work as the other person does. Because if you're saying that I want to make this work, I'm not going to hold this against you, because then it's like,
then you have to like
then
work
it's like
on
transactional, and I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be in a transactional relationship where like you're paying debt for what you did.
Yeah, you have to like work on
You
your
know?
resentment.
Yeah, so it's like I said, I was like, I'm willing to stay, and like I want to stay with you. And if I'm making that decision, then I can't hold this over your head at anything you do that pisses me off, or any wrongdoing that you do, and
Yeah,
say, well, you
exactly.
did this, or if I do something, use that as like to
Yeah.
overpower him,
Yeah.
or like use it as like an excuse to.
Yeah, it's like it's your choice to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to
exactly.
put in
So I
the
have
work
to put in the
too.
work as well.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So it's like I never held that over. I never brought it up. Ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
We had a good relationship. I mean, everything was great. It was back and forth with, like, his communication was really bad. His sleep schedule was horrific. And his work, he was getting overworked. There's no doubt about that. And at the end of the day, he probably shouldn't have even been in this job with his ability to handle his own shit.
stress, yeah.
There's a certain type of person that should be working this job, and there's not many people that are really cut out to do it, but that's the world we live in, and somebody's got to do the job, and unfortunately he was one of them doing it. It was up and down. It was kind of like the back and forth, like breadcrumbing at some points. The other times they're like highs are so high, but the lows are so low. And
When you say breadcrumbing, like what did that look like?
him being all in, making plans and figuring stuff out, to I'll see, like
Maybe we'll see.
maybe,
Yeah.
and then like delaying communication or something, being like, I'm gonna go on a motorcycle ride, and it's gone for like 5 hours, and I have a gut feeling. I'm like, first of all, I don't know if you crashed. Second of all, oh, this was a big thing. I'm going all over the place. He wouldn't text me after work that he got home safe,
Oh, you told me that. I remember.
and that bothered me.
That
more
was
than
an
anything.
issue, yeah. Well, I think in relationships, when you come up with small, like, I don't know what word I would use. I wouldn't say rules. I wouldn't say totally boundaries, but like when you come up with something that's like,
Expectations.
yeah, like almost like an expectation, like I want you to do XYZ because it'll help me, like, know you're safe, know all this.
'Cause it's not like he's working 9 to 5 corporate job.
Yeah, but it's like unless it's something that's like really unrealistic to ask of somebody, but when you're just asking someone like a very like natural, realistic thing, like, hey, just let me know when you're home, and they'll never do it. Like, I get forgetting,
Yeah, 'cause
but you said this was something that he would never
I always followed
do.
his boundary, where it was like, he didn't want me to talk to him 30 minutes after work.
Oh, yeah.
As kind of like a cool down period.
Yeah.
Which couldn't be me, but like if that's what you need, that's okay.
Yeah, you
that's fine.
respected it.
That's fine.
But just let me
But
know
just
you
say,
got home
hey,
safe.
got out of work. Like, I'm gonna go to bed. Like, I will talk to you later.
Yeah,
So
and
just
his
something
hours always changed,
Yeah,
right?
and it was like that was always like such a burden. He was like, well, I'm just exhausted. I said, you're not too exhausted to like do a lot of things you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I was like, you have your phone in front of you when you're rolling over to go to bed. Set your alarm and say, hey, I'm home.
Yeah.
Because I'm there thinking you're dead
Yeah.
or something.
Or just like thinking you're ignoring me,
yeah,
or just like,
then I like
have
start
no idea.
catastrophizing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, what did I do? Like playing back the tape of my entire day, like
Yeah.
something horrible went on.
yeah.
And that kind of led to him really cutting the communication line out of nowhere. And that's really when the official downfall of a relationship happened. He joined a few other teams for law enforcement, and that was his excuse for why everything happened. Learned later on that was not the reason everything happened. But he had started working closely with another coworker and screwed her over just as much as he screwed me over. Mm-hmm. And I didn't hear from him for almost a week.
I don't even know what I would do.
I crashed out.
I would be, I crashed out from, like, the breakup. I can imagine, like, feeling a breakup.
I thought he died.
But you don't even know if it is one, and they've just completely cut off anything.
Yep. Completely. To the point where I finally got a hold of his dad, and I was like...
I would be so...
What? And he was like, I haven't seen him, like, he's just been, like, home or going to do something else, but, like, I'm gonna get him to talk to you. Like, it's like, thank you, whatever.
Had he ever cut off communication for a day?
No.
Wow. So
unless he was working, like, 24-hour shift, then no.
Okay.
So it was really weird. So that's why I thought he got in, like, a car accident on his way home.
That's awful.
And
he won't even send you those damn texts.
I know, right? So... whatever, I finally get a hold of him after, like, 5 days. And he had texted me and was like, hey, we have a lot to talk about. I said, yeah, do you want to start? Like, I'm sitting here.
No, because he's the type, like, he'll call you up and then be like, all right, you start.
Yeah, honestly. And he was saying how an event at work was traumatic, and he kind of had a manic episode, had to just cruise through life for a few days, and he was staying at his friend's house and just doing nothing but, like, sleeping and working, and just needed to be with himself and that, whatever. And I was so nice about it, like, beyond nice. Like, the fact that, like, that even happened to me, like, not to, like, toot my own horn, but, like, I'm tooting it right now, because, like, what the hell? I responded to him and I was like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Like, that must have been terrifying.
This was still on text.
This is still on text. And I was like, would be able to, like, FaceTime. And he was like, my brother's sleeping. They shared a room. So, like, once he wakes up, like, yeah, like, I was like, okay, great. And I still have the text. And I was like, I poured out my heart, really. And I was like, telling him how, like, this isn't you, and, like, we're better than this, and, like, we can make it through this, blah, blah. And, like, before we spoke, I said...
and then, of course, like, you doing the reassurance,
yeah,
too.
And I was like, before we talk, I was like, do you want to be with me? He was like, yes, I do. I think I just need some time to figure out myself so I can be better for you. And I was like, time, what does that mean? Because...
yeah, you don't know what the boundaries of that are.
I think space is different than, like, a break. I don't believe in breaks. Sorry.
This literally
like,
sounds
crazy.
like me, because I say the same thing. I don't believe in breaks. I just don't think those exist. It's either you need space to think about something and then come back and talk about it, or you're broken up. There's no such thing as a break.
I don't think, like, why do you need, like...
a break?
Like, that does... I don't get it. It's just a dialect. No. Like, I'm like...
I feel like it's an excuse.
It doesn't make sense.
For just, like, not knowing what you want, but they haven't known what they want since the beginning.
Exactly.
So it's like, now all of a sudden you're going to find it in 5 days or, like, 3 days.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's not really how I roll, but, like, let's talk, whatever. And we FaceTimed, and he was apologetic and everything, and, like, reassured me he does want to be with me. And so I kind of just took everything he said with, like, face value, because I'm the person that, like, through the beginning, like, I trusted him, and when I didn't trust him, like, I had him own up to it. So it's like, yes, maybe I wouldn't have known anything unless I confronted it, but at least, like, what I thought was the truth that he had told me was the truth, you know? It's like, I take everything at face value. Like, I have no reason to, like, not believe you, even if you've, like, betrayed me in the past. And we were talking about, like, everything that, like, we would need, and 2 weeks went by. It was great, perfect. Like, it was so good, this relationship. I was like, I'm on cloud 9. Like, I don't know what recharged in this man, but, like, it's great. And
his battery is recharged.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, and 2 weeks later, well, we had made a plan for me to come up to for his birthday, and I was going to be there the whole week, and I took a whole week off of work.
Wow.
Yeah, because he had a whole week off.
Oh my God, that would never ever happen.
I know.
With me and my ex.
I like begged my boss.
I could never imagine spending more than like 2 days with him. I would be lucky.
We love playing house.
I would be so lucky to have gotten that time from him.
Yeah,
more than like 2 days.
We had scheduled that, and it's like Thursday, and I'm supposed to leave Sunday. I don't hear from him all day. Last time I heard from him was like Wednesday night. I don't hear from him Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Well, you're saying
This is again after the 2 weeks of great communication.
Wait. So it was 2 weeks of great communication. Then you plan this week together. And then the 3 days before he ghosts you.
Again.
Okay.
And I'm like, no way. This is happening again. And I remember I was at work on Sunday. And I was supposed to leave my house on Monday. Because he was going to come back from work, like, Monday night, but I was going to be there already, so that, like, it was just going to be easier. So once he gets back from work, we just go to bed and wake up and we're already be together on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday night, and I'm, like, leaving work. I end to work at, like, 2:30 or 3:30, and I was like, you know what? I'm going up tonight, because I hadn't heard from him. So I drove 3.5 hours straight from work to his house and waited for him to get there in the morning.
Did you, like, say hi to his parents and stuff? Or you're just,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm just waiting
no,
for
I texted
Cowboy?
I texted his mom, and I was like, hey, can I come over? Like, Cowboy's working, but, like, we're supposed to spend the weekend. It was the week of his birthday. She was like, of course. Mm-hmm. And I remember I showed up at, like, 7:30, and his dad was like, oh, there's dinner on the stove, whatever. And a lot had happened that day. I found stuff out that I never would want to find out. Spoke to his brother. His brother
I was gonna say,
had told me stuff. And I had, like, these $300 boots that I bought him for his birthday. I never even spent that on myself. No. And I remember storming out of the house with the boots, like, once I found this out, to put in my car, and his mom came home. She was like, is everything okay? And I told her everything.
Oh, no way.
His mom's crying. I'm crying. Each sibling comes home. They're crying.
What?
Yeah. It was like...
Get out.
And, like, I spent the entire night with his sister, who I miss beyond, like, so much.
That's the worst.
And it's like... She was up with me for so long. And I remember I waited there in the kitchen at 6 a.m. when he got home from work. And he was like, what are you doing here? He was, like, so confused because he was like, I broke up with you. So what are you talking about? He was like, I texted you. And he checked his phone. There was a huge paragraph in that text. He never clicked send.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
He, like, showed you his phone?
Yeah. And I was like, so where were you going to be when, like, I was coming tomorrow? And he was like, oh, I was going on a trip. I was like, well, I know that.
A trip?
I said, a trip with who? He goes, my friend. I said, oh, I know that. And then I had printed out the receipt of, like, the tickets I found for a trip. And he was
in his room? Like, you found these tickets in his room? Through somebody?
No, it was open on his tablet, the confirmation email.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it was in his room.
I used this tablet all throughout my senior year at college. So I was like, I went to check if our pictures were still there. And I opened it up to Safari's email open of a confirmed, like, train ticket. Yeah. So we talked about it. It was all bull crap that he was telling me. I ended up driving to Albany to stay with my best friend from school, my roommate, and...
That's nice.
Stay there for a day, and then I ended up driving home.
I was going to say, driving home after that, like, sounds
yeah,
torturous.
And then that started the no contact. Good old no contact. And that lasted a month until he texted me saying, like, I hate what happened. And I was like, do you want to have a conversation? And we spoke on the phone.
Like, what was it like hearing his voice after?
Triggering.
Yeah.
I was bawling the whole time, and we were both like... I said to him, I was like, listen, I still love you. Like, I don't understand. I never will understand why this happened. And he was like, if I could do anything, I would. Like, if I could come down tomorrow, like, I would. And I was like, well, my parents won't let you in the house. Like, everybody seems to hate you but me. And, like, that's something that, like, I struggled with the fact that I told everybody everything. And, like...
And then... Did you feel like because you told everybody everything and they had this perception view of him now, like this perception that you couldn't really like miss him?
No, it's the fact that
around them. You couldn't let him back in.
It couldn't let him back in,
and you wanted to.
Yeah, and I struggled with that, and I remember I was like, "Listen, like maybe I'll meet you halfway, like to talk, whatever." My mom's like, "What the hell are you thinking?" I was like, "You're absolutely right," and I texted him after. I was like, "I can't."
Okay. So
then a few months later, like 2 months later, he texted me saying something that was like, I hope your family's okay. I saw something about the wildfires downstate. And I was like, we're fine. I never responded. I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't respond because I wanted to, like, if I wanted to text him again, like, that was it was my turn.
Yeah.
In the text box. Like,
yeah.
So I debated
Yeah.
so long, like, reaching out. I ended up getting in contact with the girl that everything, like, happened with. And it kind of made me think, because there were so many, like, gaps in the story where I was like, he really lied about so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know anything of the relationship to believe anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more than just, like, a texting relationship. Like, they were going out to dinners. Like, he took her out for his birthday dinner.
Oh my God.
Like, when was dating him for over a year.
Wait, for his birthday dinner?
Yeah, he took him out for a birthday dinner.
Where were you on his birthday?
Well, this was, like...
Did he not let you, like, hang out with you that day?
Well, remember, he took that week off. For the birthday was, like, technically at the end of the week. So, like, it was the week of his birthday. So, like, they had done an early birthday dinner.
Oh my God.
Like, that weekend.
Oh God.
And this poor girl, she had no idea about me. And this entire time, he framed it so, like, I would hate her. That, like, she knew, but, like...
Yeah, to, like, put the blame so he doesn't feel it as much. Yeah.
So I was always, like, like, has so much resentment. And I don't like having resentment for anybody. So that's why I reached out to her, because I was like, I want to clear the air. And she was like, I've been wanting to, too.
Yeah.
Nice conversation. And then for a few weeks, I was like, I need to talk to him. I need, like, people are like, no, like, just, I was like, no, like, literally, because I'm going to think about this for the rest of my life every day until I get some sort of closure. And that was the best thing I could have ever done.
And this was the other day.
This is now a few weeks ago. And it was, like, so healing.
Was it on text?
No, it was on FaceTime.
Wow.
And then the Wi-Fi dropped, so we talked on the phone. But it was exactly what I needed. Like, it was raw. It was...
Wow. What was FaceTiming him like? How many months has it been since you guys have officially broken up?
Almost 10.
And you FaceTimed him, and
Yeah.
what was that like? Just seeing his face for the first time. Did it almost feel like...
He was in uniform. It was weird. He was, like, getting ready for work in his car. It was weird, but I surprisingly very calm.
Okay.
And really just got to say everything on my chest that I was feeling. And what I really wanted to do was forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I think what he did was okay, but
Yeah.
because I can't live with any resentment. And we both said to each other, I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
And it's like, I told him, I was like, you deserve so much, but you also, what you deserve is to heal yourself. And nobody deserves to happen to them what happened to me. So and I said to him, I was like, you're not ready to date. I told him, I was like, I sound like a mom. I was like, you shouldn't be dating. You're not in the headspace. You're going to screw so many people over, and you're better than that. I was like, I see so much good in you. That's why I dated you. Like, he has so much going for him. And he puts his head down, he works. He's a hard worker, and I will never say he's not. Mm-hmm. And he does care. Cares about himself a lot, which is good. But it's about the wrong things about himself. But he has so much potential. And I remind him that because, like, I know he struggles with the self-esteem and stuff like that. Like, there's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I'm going to heal that. But I will always still remind him that he has so much good in him. Mm-hmm. But he lets the bad stuff shine. And that's overpowering to all the good he has to offer. And if he does what he has to do and goes down the healing path that he has to do for his mental health and really just process all of his family history, then he's unbeatable. Mm-hmm. Then he has so much good stuff to share with the world. He's smart. He's very book smart. So book smart. Like, he's going back to school. He's going to do other stuff. And he's like, there's so much going for him. And I was like, reminding him of that. I was like, and he said the same to me. And it was just very, very healing. I learned a lot, stuff that hurt, but at the end of the day,
like, as in he admitted things,
and there were some details that I won't share on here, but overall,
they clarified things.
Yeah, it kind of like closed the doors to like what I was thinking or what I knew and whatever, and I'm okay living with not even knowing if that's the truth, but I'm content with that. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I can move past that chapter learning and thankful and grateful that I learned so much about a relationship and the great parts, like what it should look like and what it shouldn't look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that what I deserve, I know what I'm worth.
Mm-hmm.
And like I struggle with that because it's like, I don't think anybody is like cookie cutter perfect. Like, I'm not so stingy where it's like, oh, you didn't do this one thing, like so unmasculine. I'm like, screw that.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, well, if he didn't plan the day. I said, I don't mind planning the date because then at least it'll be something I want to do. Yeah. And if you want to come with me, great, it's a date. Like, I don't like the whole masculine energy all the time. Like, just because I am a very dominant personality.
I'm like that,
and I'm
too.
just like very type A. But I'm type
It's funny,
A.
I'm like type B, but I'm dominant in that way where I like to do things like that.
I'm type
like
A in the point where like I like planning and I like having a set schedule, but I don't want to be in charge because that's too much work.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like, I'll do the planning, you do the paperwork kind of thing. It was really good. And he had said to me, he was like, if you need more clarity or anything, like, you can always reach out. But, like, I won't text you. Like, I'm not going to bother you. Wait, who said this? This is what Cowboy said.
He said this?
Yeah, but he's not going to bother me. And, like, he's not going to reach out. And I was like, I appreciate that. And it's nice to know that it's, like, it's not like the door's, like, open, but, like, the string's not, like, burned. So it's, like, not that I'm like, thank God I still have, like, an opportunity. It's more of, like, it's not a broken line between us. And it's, like, respectful. And it's healthier than what it would be if I had not reached out. And I think that that's finally allowed me to really open up in other aspects and, like, let other people in. Because I had been healing for so long, and it's, like, that's been the burden on me. And once I let that go, like, have that conversation, like, it's been a weight off my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm, like, as close to cloud nine as I could be, like, with the circumstances.
Can you ever see yourself reaching out to him again? Or was that kind of, like, your conversation that you needed and
for right
else?
now, I don't know what the future holds. I have other priorities, and right now he's not in any of my near future. I don't think he would serve me well. And I think that nobody changes in a few months, and I think he needs decades. But I'm also not going to wait for him.
I think, I think about how a lot of people, I think, just assume people change quickly. And I think even the person themselves that's supposed to be changing assumes it too, where they're like, oh, I've changed. Oh, I've been, it's been a few months. And they just think that time changes things.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're still not talking to anybody about your feelings. You still don't know how to regulate yourself.
That's what you're saying about, like, the time heals. Okay, but, like, you have to do stuff within that time. And it's, like, not just, like, my self-growth.
I don't even believe, like, time heals.
Like, neither do I.
Yeah.
Like, time goes on. Like, maybe, like, you
could
get
be in the
busier,
same spot you were in.
But I'm still, like, that burden. I was like, no, that burden will disintegrate over time. I was like, no, it's not.
No, it doesn't.
I have to, like,
unless you get
now.
through it. Yeah. It doesn't disintegrate over time. And I think that's where so many people go wrong in the way where, like, yeah, it's been a few months, I've healed. Like, I'm good.
Why I feel
and it's
like almost, like,
no,
regret
what?
the fact that, like, I waited so long, but it was, I had
waited
to do
so
that
long to what? Reach out to the person?
Because I was like, I could have.
But it seems like you, like, the fact that you FaceTimed him right after you kind of found out this information, maybe not right after, but, like, close after, the way you, like, talk about that FaceTime call seems so, it felt very, like, mature and, like, okay energy, nothing, like, too, like, bringing up too many feelings. So I kind of feel like the timing worked really well because you're in a better spot.
Yeah.
You're farther out from it and you've done the work.
Exactly.
So, like, versus, like, if this happened really early on, you may still be very, like, angry and emotional about it. And now you're feeling more, like, accepting.
I never went through, the angry part was more of just, like, the loss. And, like.
Explain that.
I didn't have the capacity, I still don't, to hate somebody that I had so much care for and love for.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't exist for me. Like, unless, like, you physically hurt me. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's any better. It's just both as damaging. But how I perceive it is that, like, it goes back to, like, the first time being human. And, like, it was a mistake. I mean, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he made some stupid decisions. And it takes too much work for me to be angry. It's almost, I feel bad.
I relate to that so much because it's really funny. A lot of my friends are more of the, like, I'm not going to forgive that person and fuck them. Like, you know, and sometimes
Yeah, so
I'm
am
like jealous
I.
of that, where I'm like, wait, I wish I could be like that, but I still feel so
shows how much you care.
empathetic for this
Yeah,
person.
same.
And like even the people that have wronged me over and over and over and over again, I still just get very like, I can't hate you. Like I still
Yeah.
love you, and I'll always
I was
love
like,
you.
I don't know what you could do that would make me hate him, but it's like,
because you fell in love with someone in the beginning and like
Exactly.
in the first place. Like it's not like you could really do anything to just erase love. Like love doesn't just go away. It's like it just changes. And I feel that too. I just don't think that like I can hate somebody. And I always say like I need to forgive. I know some people are like I don't want to forgive people, and that's their thing. But for me, I need to forgive
Same.
in order to move on because
for my own peace.
Yeah, like if I am holding anger and resentment against someone, then I'm never going to feel like that peace with it because I'm angry at someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of said it better.
Please, I'm listening this whole time being like, damn, you said that so well. Because I've never had someone explain a very, like some things you said felt very similar in what I've experienced in my past relationship. And so hearing somebody say it and you were just explaining your own take, I was like, wow. Because I don't really have anybody around me that's experienced this per se, like these certain feelings that you talked about.
Yeah.
Max didn't cheat on me, but just the other things you were talking about.
Yeah.
And all of like the little things slowly but surely just piling up.
Exactly. And it's like, just how am I gonna push past and deal with it? And like, what am I gonna do to make the situation easier for myself?
Yeah.
So the selfishness honestly came out after we broke up, because then I was like, I need this for myself.
Yeah.
But he was receptive to that. So
Yeah.
that's all I could ask for.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny when you like talk about reaching out and like him reaching out, I'm like because I've like me and my ex are no contact.
Yeah.
So I'm always
I mean, we're no contact now. It's like,
but like but there has never been a reach out yet. So for me, I'm always in that thing of like, is he gonna reach out? Because I'm not gonna reach out, but I'm just like, you always sit in like the what ifs, and I kind of hate the what ifs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ooh, like either just don't ever,
Yeah.
or just do it, like get it over with so I can cry my eyes out.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the anticipation, and it's like,
and everyone's like, they always come back, and I'm like, yeah, but what if he doesn't? Like what? Like, and not saying come back as in like he wants to be with me, but I'm like, come back as in send me a text. I'm like, okay, but what if he doesn't? Like,
people are like, it's like you want someone to text, and you're like, okay, but like you all. Like, oh, it's like they know how to reach you, but it's like I know how to reach them too. But I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it is a two-way thing. Like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I agree. Like, I don't know if we may be at opposite sides of that. It's like it is a two-way street. People are like waiting for him to reach out, and I'm like, the phone. Like, if they know how to contact you, I'm like, you know how to contact them too. If you're that obsessed with it, just freaking do it. And like the worst has already happened.
Yeah. So for me, where it comes from is like, I don't think of like, because he's the man, he has to reach out, or like, yeah, I don't feel like that. I'm more in the way where
He wronged you and you don't want to be there begging, or no.
I don't want kind of like wrong. I guess like I've never actually thought about this. I think the reason why I would never reach out is not because of, well, I want it to be him at all. It's more just like I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
So it would be, yeah, like the only reason why I would ever reach out is if I really had something to say. I don't have much to say because a lot of our relationship was exhausting these problems and talking about all these things, and I never got anything from him. Yeah. Like I would get the same, I understand, Ali, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. And I can only look at that text so many times till I'm so enough of the empty sorries.
Yeah.
And so for me, there's no reason why I would reach out. I think the only reason why he would reach out is to apologize again for what went down.
Which I already heard, yeah.
Which I've already heard a billion times, but like that's why I'm like, if anybody were to reach out, it were to be him. Not because I want, like, not because I'm like, it has to be you.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, no, that's a good point though. Like people always are like, well, he's the man, he has to reach out, or like they always come back, like, he always comes back. But in the end, it's like it was a two-way street. It's
relationship's like, over. Who cares what you want to do? Do what you want.
Like if you have shit to say and it's been a while.
If it gives you peace.
Yeah. Well, I also believe in like waiting till you're not in such an emotional
Yeah.
state to do it. Like if you're really revved up about something, like for example,
And I thought about it. I was like, if I still want to
Yeah.
do this 24 hours later, then I'll consider
yes,
it.
exactly. Like that girl, you talk to her that night. If you reach out to him, it's probably not going to be the
I don't
best
wanna talk to him.
encounter that you're looking for.
Yeah.
You got to wait till that like emotion dies down,
And then if
like,
I'm still thinking about it.
yeah, and I'm like, oh no, I still want to reach out. Then yeah.
And like my friends will tell me, they're like, you're doing so well. You're so strong for not reaching out. Like I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, I'm no weaker if I were to reach out. If anything, I think that shows my strength in understanding what I need and prioritizing my needs for once. And if they're not receptive to that, then okay. But at least I did my part for what I need if they're willing to talk. And I did get that, and he was receptive, which I am thankful for.
I get that too, in the way where like I remember like because I recently looked back at things that I've been avoiding for so long, and you almost feel that sense of people thinking like, wow, like you didn't look at that stuff for 4 months and like it's okay, you looked at it now. But I'm like, yeah, I've been suffering, like not being able to text him, not being able to do this. It looks easy. It's so hard. Like it's so hard not being able to like give into all your temptations, especially when you're really emotional about something, and just make the decision of I'm gonna wait until I see if this is something that's gonna help me, or this is just like me getting like, oh, I want to hear his voice, and like that part of my nervous system just wants him right now.
Yeah, and what I did before I spoke to him was I mapped out every possible outcome.
Yeah.
And I made sure I was okay with whichever way it went.
Yeah.
And once I figured out each outcome that could possibly come from me talking to him, then I was like, okay, if I'm okay with the outcome, possibility of this happening, then I will go through with speaking, because then I know what to expect in a way, and like I already know that I will be okay with whatever
outcome. Yeah, that's beautiful. Abby, this story, the way you talk about it is so beautiful too. It's very, you sound so mature and so like like this you can tell is something that was good that it happened.
Yeah.
Because like as you've spoken this whole time, you learn all the good things that you could take from that relationship, all the bad things and all those things to look out for. I love it. That was amazing.
And it's better happens now than it does in 20 years.
Exactly. You're so right. It's like so good to learn it now, and like what it looks like going back to the person and reaching out to them and what it like kind of feels like. Yeah. I love it. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me. You can stream my podcast on any podcast network. The Balancing Act by Abby Osinoff.
Everyone go check it out. Bye, guys.
Bye.